What's up, sports fans? I'm Zack, Allison here, and I'm doing an episode of Bike Sports TV Garage today. Usually there's someone a little prettier on the other side of the lens, but today you get me. Today we are building up a caveworks bike. So caveworks makes an indoor specific, it's kind of funny to call it a bike. It doesn't have wheels. It's specific for indoor riding and racing. So this time of year, Whitney and I are on Zwift a lot of the time. And normally we're on our NV Melees. It's a great bike. It's a super bike, and it just feels weird to have it on the trainer, just getting torqued all day. Doesn't feel super great. It's meant to be outside. It's a race bike. So we got some of these caveworks bikes, and today we're gonna build them up. We'll show you how, what model we got and why, and what we're gonna build them up with. Caveworks has a bunch of different options. They're taking pre-orders right now for a Caveworks single speed, which you can use on a Zwift One hub. You can just plop that onto your current trainer, whatever your direct drive trainer is. Those are $1,000. A frame set, which is everything you need to have the bike on the trainer. If you have your own parts in the garage hanging out, if you have a parts bin, we opted for this option just because we kind of have some parts lying around. These frame sets are $750, and then there's a full GRX build. So if you want to get just a bike in a box, ready to go, ready to put on any direct drive trainer and Zwift race, intervals, Training Peaks Virtual, RIVET, whatever you do on your direct drive trainer, for $1,400 you can get a full GRX build already set to go. All right, let's see what comes in one of these Caveworks frame set boxes. Yeah, might be all the way disassembled, I don't know. This is the first one I've gotten. Dang, it looks, is it done? So first look, this thing's pretty sick, right? Like, you know, it's not going outside. So you want it to be pretty sturdy. It's heavy, but it's not obscenely heavy. These welds look pretty good. They got some nice, you know, here's a wolf tooth clamp, some nice parts on there, branded seat post. So let's start throwing some parts on this bad boy. So here's everything that comes in the box. So you got this handy owner's manual and how-to resources. There's a lot of adjustment on this. So there's a knob that can move the stem. The knob is backed up by a bolt on top, so you can kind of infinitely adjust your fit for whatever height you are. And then, you know, it just runs you through like how to set it up. And the biggest thing is gonna be the bottom bracket, but it's, you know, pretty low key. You also get this box. You get tall legs and short legs depending on how much lift you want on your front end. So some people like to feel like they're climbing more. So we'll generally opt for the tall ones and then kind of adjust the trainer height on the back end. You get this handy wrench and this actually kind of cool torque wrench. There's a lot of, you know, built-in torque wrenches that people send with products. This one isn't just set at 5.5 Newton meters or 4 Newton meters. It's actually variable. So, you know, didn't cut any corners. They're trying to set you up for success while also providing like a quality enough product to be able to put what you bought together. So pretty cool stuff. So these feet are really nice. Like this is a big part of what makes this sturdier and stiffer than just having your bike with a front wheel on the trainer. So these are the contact point to the ground, and the only other contact point being the bike on the actual trainer itself and the trainer legs. So yeah, let's get to it. So we've got a GRX kit. This is just an 11-speed kit off of one of our gravel race bikes. Some pedals, bottom bracket. You know, you kind of need a whole group set, but this is just what we have lying around. So we opted for the frame set, which I think is a really cool option by Caveworks. You're not kind of forced to, you know, buy an entire system and a whole nother group set if you have some parts lying around. Another really cool aspect about that is if you have, you know, a few $100 to get into one of these Caveworks, but then you want to go build it out from your local parts store, or someone has a parts bin you can raid, then there's a lot of different ways you can set this up. It's not going outside. you know, you don't need brakes. So it's really, you can find a lot of cheap ways to build up one of these a la carte options from caveworks. One thing with the indoor bike is, you know, you're not subject to salt from roads and general like road moisture or cleaning, but it's subject to kind of more corrosive sweat. So I'm gonna opt to, you know, be a little bit heavy on the lube and the grease on these bolts. This thing's gonna be downstairs on the trainer for a number of years, right? And I'm just gonna sweat all over it. I do bike fitting, and like kind of one of the biggest things, even on like a relatively clean bike, is that if you have it on the trainer and you're sweating on it, then like it'll just corrode stuff super quick. So as I put the bars on and put the bolts back in, I'm just gonna, you know, get some grease on these bolts and not everywhere that the sweat would get. Again, these parts are just lying around. So like, you know, I have some NV bars lying around. I'm not gonna chuck NV parts on here. It's not going outside, doesn't need to be light. The bar interface is super nice. It's just these super simple 4 bolts, really sturdy faceplate, threaded English bottom bracket. We got a Shimano 24 mil spindle bottom bracket to throw in here. Hopefully the threads are good. That's like kind of the only thing I think that would be, you know, interesting or like kind of hard to get right is, you know, having to face something like this. But I know the guys at Caveworks, and they go through and run the threads on every single one. So I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. Oh man, that's smooth. All right, let's start hanging some parts. Got a full GRX build here. It's a 2x build. You know, a lot of like these trainer setups can easily be a 1x build. But again, it's just what we had lying around. So we can throw this on there and like, you know, not have to go get any parts. And so this might be the trickiest part about this build. So there's a lot of ways to skin this cat. 11-speed GRX, you need a junction box, you need wires to each shifter, each derailleur, and the battery. So these are just the, you know, junction A, junction B boxes off of the last build. I'm gonna kind of throw them up there and make sure everything connects and works and the wires are the right lengths, and then we'll just kind of tie them up, because you can, you know, kind of put stuff anywhere. Again, it's not going outside, so we'll just tie them up kind of neatly out of the way. So I'm gonna shove this battery into this, you know, sear tube, we can call it. Everything's super burly built on this. So the steer tubes actually has like a, you know, a 5 mil thickness. So there's enough room for this battery, but we'll just kind of take some of this padding off and figure out how much electrical tape we need to shove them up in there. Junction B. All right. Everything's plugged in. Everything works. So now, you know, the harness, the loom, whatever you want to call it, is wired. Everything's working. So now we can kind of take it back apart and tape stuff up and put stuff, you know, pretty tidy. So there's also these nice cable guides up here, and an electrical GRX cable. Even the bigger 11-speed ones do fit through there. So that's pretty snazzy. And then you can't even see them when you're actually riding. So it's just kind of nice and safe and tucked out of the way. So everything's run now. Be careful as you're doing this. Like, you might want to put your bars closer to the position they're going to be in, just so you get the lengths right. Tied up the junction box in a way to get to the charger, ran all the cables, used the cable guides. I can probably tighten this up a little bit more if I want to. And then everything's kind of out of the way of the chain. There's no wheel, right? So you don't really have to like watch out for tire clearance or anything like that. So just kind of tied junction box B up over here, use the cable guides for the rear derailleur to get to the rear derailleur itself. And that's good to go. At last, we are in the home gym, the pain cave, the Rivet's final resting place. So let's throw this bad guy on the trainer. We have our 11-speed cassette on here. Boom, spacing's perfect. Everything lines up. Good to go. All right, that's it. This is the caveworks Rivet, massive pain cave upgrade. Super solid, went up super easy. You know, every thread was straight. They're taking pre-orders. You can order one right now, whether you do it this way, where it's kind of an a la carte build, or you buy one of their fully built rigs that's just ready to plop on the trainer. Yeah, time to ride it.